City, the championship game between third-seeded Tennessee and #1 Connecticut. The Lady Vols come in 26-10, while the Huskies are a nation best 33-0. Good evening, everybody. Mike.
For Tennessee, Abby Conklin had been in a big shooting slump, but she came out of it in the tournament. She's hitting from the outside again and averaging 16 in the last 2 games. For the Huskies, during the regular season, Rita Williams had a lot of assists, but a lot of turnovers, too. She's made a dramatic improvement in the turnover ratio, nearly 2-to-1 now in the tournament. Gino Auriemma, the Naismith Coach of the Year in his 9th straight NCAA, hoping for a 3rd straight Final Four. And Pat Summitt in her 23rd season, 13 times in the last 16 years, she has taken her team into the Elite 8. Here's the NCAA history for both, and 16 straight Sweet 16s for Tennessee and 4 titles to 1 for UConn. Tennessee a winner a year ago in the semifinals. UConn beat Tennessee for the championship 2 years ago. And when you're playing for that much, the rivalry heats up in a hurry.
Talking to Pat Summitt before the game, she said, hey, our team is loose. They're just really relaxed and ready to go at it.
Holtzclaw at 6'2" against the 6'7" Walters, the jump center. Tennessee will control Kelly Jolly. A remarkable comeback from a knee injury and then an ankle injury in the tournament, and Holtzclaw starts it in a hurry.
These teams are completely different than when they met earlier in the season. Shea Ralph was big difference for Connecticut. She really added a type of player that Connecticut really doesn't have as much, except like Nikisha Sales. A versatile player can do so many things. And Tennessee, on the other hand, has Kelly Jolly. Lori Milligan is out.
Here's the press. They get it to Elsie. Holtzclaw, so dangerous in the open court. Got her own rebound, knocked away and stolen by Carla Berube.
Watched practices yesterday and today, and both coaches said, we've got to come out aggressive. We want Connecticut, on the other hand, when they did play that first game, they got the ball inside an awful lot.
Here's another turnover. Jolly pushes it up, has a lane. Kelly Jolly all the way, and Tennessee has a 4-2 lead.
Tennessee worked on their shooting today. They're scoring, going to the basket, and looking for the outside shot.
The foul was called on Elsie for a push underneath. It was her first, and the team's first.
Great penetration by Rita Williams, but a nice block by Tennessee.
Rita Williams has tremendous quickness as well as speed at the point for UConn. Sales is out on Elsie. Tough bounce pass at the feet of the center, Passion Thompson, and all the way to the other end. UConn runs in a hurry, and Rita Williams has her first bucket.
Both these teams very capable of playing transition offense. They like to push the ball if they can score in that layup.
UConn averaging nearly 84 points a game. Tennessee 77.
Both teams will switch up their defense. They'll play man. They'll go into their zones.
Conklin out of the corner. That beautiful high arc for 3.
Rainbow time. Carol Walters at 6'7" comes out on her, and Abby Conklin said, keep coming. I'm going upstairs.
Must have had a toe on the line. They only give her a 2 for the shot. Duran dumps it off to Sales. She's wide open. Duran with the offensive rebound and put it back in. Amy Duran, who averages 7.5 points a game, has done better than that in the tournament.
Tennessee, 2 key things for them was take care of the basketball. They had 24 turnovers the last time these 2 teams played, but they out-rebounded Connecticut. And Pat Summitt was saying, boards, boards, boards. We've got to hit the boards.
Thompson against Walters, the bucket, and that's their strategy. Push it in.
He said, if they let the big players play and don't get them in foul trouble, it'll be a good game. But a great play by Passion Thompson to go underneath the defense to create contact.
Thompson, a 78% free throw shooter. She and Abby Conklin are playing in their 19th NCAA game tonight. That is a volunteer record. Nice job of breaking the press and then a travel.
For Jen Rosati has been the heart and soul, just an extension of Gino, the two Italians. Jen Rosati knew what to expect, but he is so proud of what Rita Williams has done for this team this year.
Holtzclaw, nice pass, offensive rebound. Conklin stripped on the way up. Elsie has it in the lane and scores. What a nice job by Holtzclaw to get out of that trap and find a teammate clear on the other side of the court.
Well, we talked earlier, too, about Carla Berube being the missed clutch and the player that they go to. But Nikisha Sales is going to be a player that they really has to show up.
11-6 Tennessee early. Sales to inbound to Walters. She wheels toward the bucket, fouled on the way up. Passion. So get to see the Naismith Player of the Year, Kate Scarborough.
Henderson's going to need
the opening two games from the West Region. Walters, 1 out of 2. It's 11-7. Back off the pressure a little bit this time. Waiting for Jolly at half court. Holtzclaw encounters a double team. Another good cross-court pass. Conklin, good outside shooter. Except for that one, no.
But I like the aggressiveness that Tennessee has offensively. They're going and looking to take shots.
Paige Sauer, number 41, is into the ball game, and they'll go to a double post. Sales runs into a double team. Low to Sowers. Great balance as she caught the pass, squared up, got her shot.
She's been such an impressive freshman. She has great footwork. She really rolled to the basket well that time, and great hands.
Every starter has scored so far for Tennessee. Holtzclaw, tough shot off balance. Passion Thompson with a foul. The 6'1" senior from Philadelphia, Mississippi, has 5 points. The lead back to 4.
Passion Thompson had a solid game against Colorado, 12 points and 7 rebounds. 5 of those were offensive.
Tried to dump it low to Sauer, tipped out of bounds. We've got a timeout on the court. 15:31 to go first half. Tennessee by 4. Had 7 teams invited to the tournament, got 6 to the Sweet 16, but only 2 left now, despite a 16-5 overall record. Tennessee here and Georgia, which you'll see later in the West against Stanford.
In 14 of the last 15 years, an SEC team in there. That was way back in '92 when Stanford won it all. They had Virginia, Southwest Missouri State, and Western Kentucky. And Stanford, you know, we talked about how much these two teams have dominated the 90s. Well, Stanford is the other team in there that has done pretty good. They won.
There are 3 or 4 other consistent performers to challenge them every year.
Well, Louisiana Tech has been up there, Leon Barmore. And again, you look at the top coaches throughout the country. There are some good coaches this year. And give credit to Muffet McGraw at Notre Dame. They're going to be in the Final Four. Old DU, I mean, they did a great job there. But Gino was named Naismith. And he said, you know, he's a little surprised because his father passed away this year and he was really involved emotionally with what was happening. And he gave a lot of credit to his assistant coaches.
He was not there for the Big East tournament, and they carried on beautifully without him. There's Kelly Jolly. She has 4, and Tennessee has its biggest lead, 6. Encounters a double team. Good jump out by Jolly. Williams with that quickness goes right around Holtzclaw. Contact, no whistle. Rebound to Conklin. Pushes it ahead to Holtzclaw. Loves that left-hand dribble and wheels. Great pass to Thompson. Thompson is fouled. What a pass by Holtzclaw.
I love to get my teammates involved. And look at the court awareness. She sees the 6'5" Paige Sauer on her, and Passion Thompson cutting to the basket. Just great awareness. And Connecticut is going to have some transition defense to get back because Tennessee's looking to push it up court.
Nikisha Sales picked up the personal. Hits the first of the free throws. And now it's an 8-point lead for the Lady Vols. We told you Connecticut encountered its first real nail-biter in the first-round game against Illinois. Sales goes through 3 players. First shot, Walters, offensive rebound, and Walters got away with an elbow.
Well, she was making sure she got those orange jerseys off of her, and they're letting the officials know about it. But that was a heck of a move by Nikisha Sales.
I think everybody in the building wanted to see that one go in. A little high and strong for Thompson. And out of bounds to Tennessee.
Tough time to figure out how to penetrate there. You can see the 4 jerseys right in there just clogging up that middle. And Pat Summitt was talking about we need to stop the penetration, and that's why you see so many orange jerseys in there in the lane.
Conklin off the inbounds play. Conklin on the tip gets her own rebound into the lane and scores. Abby Conklin out of Charlestown, Indiana has 4.
I mean, she is looking to score. We saw her in the Illinois game and also early in the tournament. She just was not looking to score. She was in a big slump where in 6 games she was shooting 29%.
Wonderful what a little confidence will do for you. Good. And now they do.
There you can see him packing off. And Tennessee also switching. They feel very comfortable switching on who the big bodies are going to be switching off on.
Here, even with the Illinois win, only 5 points, and the previous closest game, Notre Dame at 9, they're still beating top 20 teams by an average of 17.6 points a game. And I mean, some of these were only
2 years ago, they went undefeated. There was a lot of pressure. This team doesn't feel as much pressure about being undefeated. They want to get to the Final Four again.
Deep inbounds to Sauer. Ruby has not been a factor. Shot clock is at 10. It did not reset, of course, just because of the timeout. Tough cross-angle pass. Not a good job by Sales as the clock was running down. She tried to force one in there.
Offensively, Connecticut a little frustrated because Tennessee is very active. They're making Connecticut go way out to start their offense, and then all of a sudden they're clogging up the middle.
Great drive on the baseline. The shot wouldn't fall for Holtzclaw, but she'll get first. And the 3rd team foul against UConn.
Nice pass inside, and Holtzclaw is very good with her back to the basket. She can face the basket also, but there she uses the baseline, and nice reverse. The ball does not finish for her, and that's one of the things that Tennessee talked about. We've got to finish our shots, and that's why they are so confident in going, because they've had some pep talks about we can win this game, and Pat Summitt is a great motivator.
I don't think anybody looks forward to playing against a Pat Summitt coach team in postseason. We have seen in the last couple of years that I've been covering this tournament, she just seems to find a way to get weaknesses uncovered in other teams.
And this is a Tennessee team that has not been strong all year. They've looked for leadership. The seniors have not stepped up. Holtzclaw has carried it as a sophomore, and she doesn't have quite the intensity as of yet. But when you go against Pat Summitt, you've always got to be concerned.
All we said was on Conklin was charged to Elsie.
And Gino Auriemma has told his point guard also to Rita Williams, say, look, you've got the green light to go to the basket and try and get some points for us. Penetrate inside.
Hansmeyer, number 20, a freshman, is in for Gino Auriemma. Williams guarded by Elsie.
Hansmeyer did not play in that first game because of Shea Ralph.
Walters missed a chippy, but no one there to prevent her from getting the rebound. Carol Walters has 5. Tennessee playing with great confidence right now. Tiffany Johnson out to Elsie for 3. Tennessee by 11.
We talked about this maybe being a chess match, and yeah, the top players, the kings and queens, and those your key players are going to be involved, but it's the pawns that you don't know is going to show up. They're the ones that are going to have to come up with some big plays.
Hansmeyer walks as she lost her balance.
Early, because I think you have to know where she is at all times, and you have to be playing her tough at all times.
Carol Walters has been banged around an awful lot so far tonight.
And it's not just by the post players. You see Kelly Jolly banging her just as she crosses the free throw line, and that's what Pat Summitt was talking about. We want to get a body on her, make some contact so she feels it before she gets down on that post position.
But she'll give as good as she gets, and she's used to it by now. Johnson trying to establish position against her inside. Off-balance shot by Abby Conklin, and here comes Sales back the other way, all the way. Nikisha Sales, great drive.
She did not slow up at all going down the left side. Those are the kind of plays that the Huskies are going to need more by Nikisha Sales.
24-15, Jolly. Holtzclaw loves that spin move, in and out. Sales with another rebound.
And coming out of the timeout, we'll see if Tennessee can adjust to that zone that Connecticut has thrown on them.
Rita Williams tosses it away. Up-to-date stats, 106 to 101 assisted turnovers, and 1-1 won't get it done. Although in her defense, she has done much better late in the season and in the tournament.
And Jen Rosati did it for 4 years. This is Rita Williams' first year where she has been the full-time.
The biggest loss for UConn or any team, when you have an experienced veteran point guard and you have to replace that player, that's an awful lot. Amy Duran gets herself free on the baseline, misses the shot. Sales forced to follow. Conklin on the double team. Here's Holtzclaw. Lost control of the dribble, cut off at the baseline, and out of bounds.
And Tiffany Johnson is the type of player for the Lady Vols, can come in and create a lot of havoc inside. She's a big rebounder and can score points.
Somebody got a piece of that one, and there's Johnson with a rebound, but she traveled. Rebounds.
And Tiffany Johnson is the third freshman to start for Pat Summitt. Passion Thompson was the second one, and Dana Johnson was the first one. That's how good they are.
Sales hesitated and then missed a shot.
The very first game that Tiffany Johnson started as a freshman for Tennessee, she had 18 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 blocks against Lafayette.
Jolly three-pointer. Walters with a rebound, and she's fouled. Looked like Johnson was up. They'd like to get Berube a little bit involved more in this offense. She said 17, 19, and 17 in 3 tournament games. Walters, offensive rebound, got the shot off the miss from Duran. Carol Walters had 7.
The thing with Carla Berube, Tennessee is doing a very good job, but it's later in the game when you kind of forget about her because she hasn't done anything and you let up a little bit.
Nia butts into the ball game for the first time. Her miss recovered by Holtzclaw inside. She goes down but gets the bucket. Holtzclaw has half a dozen. Williams hustles it back the other way. There's Berube. Nice fake. And then lost it on the way in. Sales with a loose ball. Walters with the follow. And now Carol Walters, as the pace picks up, starting to be a little more dominant inside.
I like that. Tipping it in, not just even coming down with it. She's doing up both hands and tipped that ball in and come down. Said, come on, Huskies.
She has just tied Rebecca Lobo, number 2 all-time in points scored at UConn. She is 4th to Lobo in rebounds. She got a block shot there. And it's a jump ball situation. Possession arrow will give it back to Tennessee, number 1 all-time.
That was the first year that Connecticut went to the Final Four in '91.
Holtzclaw, nice inbounds play.
That's the one thing that really impressed me, Mike, the other night against Colorado. Tennessee did such a good job on their out-of-bounds plays and scored.
The lead back to 9, and even though it looks like Connecticut has really picked up the momentum, they're not cutting into that lead much. Sales, nice reverse scoop. Nikisha Sales has a half dozen. Excellent ball movement all night for Tennessee.
Oh, good screen.
Jolly got all the way in. I think Sauer will...
Before that game, whether she would be able to play or not. But she screamed out so bad, she has had 8 players that have had some kind of injury all season long. As a matter of fact, the first person down on the court was Dr. Bill Yeoman to make sure that Kelly Jolly's knee was okay.
By 15 points, limiting Tennessee to only 31% from the floor, but a much different team for both UConn and Tennessee. Gina Auriemma had the benefit of Shea Ralph, who had 14 points and 6 rebounds, but she blew out her knee. And Kelly Jolly able to come back for Tennessee. So those were a couple of different parts in that first meeting.
Kelly Jolly missed first half of the season because of an ACL, came back, and then the ankle injury.
Walters, no basket, offensive foul.
Look at how high, though, Walters is away from the basket. And she usually goes left. Doesn't look like much contact. She didn't throw the arm out from the angle that you got, but you had Holtz.
Acting job on that one. 29-21, Tennessee. So Walters sits down with 2. Sales has 2 personals. They took one away from Sauer and gave it to Sales. And Conklin hits a 3. 7 points for Abby Conklin, who's a 35%, nearly 36% long-range shooter. It's back to 11. Duran kicks it back outside. Ruby didn't want the shot. Duran will take it and hit it a three.
And she's the type of player that has to get hot for the Huskies. We talked about the role players on each team, and Tennessee looks like they are very aggressive, scoring everybody on the team. In Connecticut, those other players that don't score a lot, they've got to step their game up now with Carol Walters on the bench.
Duran is the best long-range shooter of anybody on the court tonight. And there's Holzclaw. She has 10 already.
Holzclaw likes to turn right. Her back is to the basket. She will turn right. I haven't seen her turn left in the 2 games that we've seen them play. And if a defensive player will pick that up, they can force her to that left and see what happens.
Sauer, she walked.
They've got to calm down on the offense. I think Lakeisha Sales, when the ball is in her hands, Rita Williams, they're trying to penetrate and create something.
Holzclaw, every time she touches it, it results in a double team. Misty Green, number 13, is in for Pat Summitt. She's looking low for Thompson, who's on the blocks against Sauer. Elsie may have gotten away with a push-off. Green will hit the jump shot and got the roll. Everything going right for Tennessee right now. They're up by 12, the biggest lead of the ball game.
Tennessee has done a good job in keeping the ball out of Carla Berrubi's hands.
Hansmeyer gets the bucket inside. Back to 10 points under 5.5 minutes to go. Holzclaw with that high dribble, just controlling everything. Thompson kicks it back out. Green will fire from long range. Holy cow.
In practice today, the shoot-around, Misty Green passed the ball off. Pat Summitt called quits, say, hey, what did we recruit you for? Not passing, shooting, and she's doing it tonight.
Yeah, but did they recruit her to shoot from 27 feet?
Count it.
Duran trying to answer at the other end. Hansmeyer got a piece of it, but Holzclaw with a rebound. 13-point lead for Tennessee, and Connecticut is really going to be tested tonight. They are not facing the same team they beat up earlier this year. Holzclaw double-teamed at the baseline, didn't get the roll. Sauer with a rebound, Rita Williams. She pushes it ahead. Berube has not had a shot in the ballgame. The leading scorer in the tournament for this club. Nearly had it taken away there. Sauer. And she'll get the foul from Thompson.
10-point line. She's the type of player that needs to be inside towards the basket. She creates things on the short post, down low by the baseline, 8-10 feet away, and she can make things happen.
Paige Sauer hits 1 of 2. That's going to be a foul on Amy Duran.
And that's because of foul trouble.
Approaching the 4-minute mark in the first half. Elsie got to the free throw line, misses the shot. Hansmeyer comes out to Williams, 3-on-2. Williams gives it up to Berube. Right in front of the Tennessee bench, they thought she walked. The three had 2 chances to go down and didn't.
It's not dropping for the Huskies like it is for the Lady Vols.
When you have games like that, sometimes there's nothing you can do. The ball will hit the rim 6 times. It just doesn't want to go in.
That's right. You've got good wide open shots. You execute your offense, and it's not falling.
Laxton into the lane, missed the shot. Johnson with a follow. Good in the foul.
Offensive end or the defensive end, and Tiffany Johnson goes to the offensive boards. I don't think that there's much contact here because Paige Sauer is on the net right there, but Pat Summitt, Tiffany Johnson, the rest of the Lady Vols are excited because they're hitting the boards.
Johnson can give her team a 15-point lead and does. 10 points with 3:17 to go in the first half.
And a lot of it has to do because of the Tennessee defense, and also they're hitting some big shots.
Rita Williams to Duran. Shot clock is at 10. Carol Walters double team, got it back, forced it up and draws a foul.
Right after Carol Walters, just 4 orange jerseys right on her, and there you see the free throws, only 2 of 4 for the Connecticut Huskies. And this is probably one of the weaker parts of Carol Walters, as much as she does. She needs to knock them down, especially in this game. It's going to count.
She's hit 2 of 3 so far tonight, and now 3 out of 4. To get back in there and shoot it.
She's just so fun to watch, too.
Conklin against the pressure. Connecticut has not been able to force Tennessee into mishandling the ball very much.
They're taking care of the basketball much better this game.
Jolly gets it down to Johnson against the double team, and just as we say that, they throw it away because of defense. Their 5th turnover. Duran wide open. Can't hit the three. Johnson spun to the ground by Hansmeyer. That'll be a foul. Johnson misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Nice recovery by Williams, and she's fouled. Williams makes
1 of 5 from the free throw line, shooting 55% from the line. She could be a big factor if she hits her free throws like those two.
11-point lead. Jolly trying to work against the double team. She has done a nice job in getting rid of the pass when she's supposed to. Conklin, a little jump hook short on it. 1 and out for Tennessee. Williams carried the ball. Jolly sees the double team coming and gets rid of it. Elsie, her backcourt mate. A three out of the corner won't go. Tennessee has gone suddenly cold, and Connecticut with a chance to get it down to single digits. Sauer wants the ball inside. Instead they go to Williams, and she'll get it to Sauer. Triple team. Williams left all alone for three. Missed the shot. Offensive rebound and a foul as Amy Duran.
Tonight, and only one will make it to the Final Four.
First free throw no good by Amy Duran, who was the best free throw in tonight. The ones you expect to have come up missing.
And what do we know?
That's right. What's the stat guy know? He says she's an 84% shooter, and she just missed them both.
That's right.
42-31. UConn unable to cut that double-digit lead. Shot clock is at 12. But Tennessee is being a little more deliberate, and there is a walk on Misty Green. It's out the play she wants. LZ is out waiting for her. Berube has been totally shut down in this first half. Duran gets it to Sauer. Reach in, knocked it away by Elsie. Williams trying to penetrate, kicks it back outside. Berube. Shot clock is at 6, and Berube will force that one up. Doesn't get the roll. Hansmeyer with a follow. That's a big bucket for UConn. They've cut it to 9.
The second tip that the Huskies have had, I like that, because once you come down with the basketball, it gives the defense a chance to recoup and come up on you.
Robin Roberts and the Lee Jeans halftime report coming up. As soon as we're done here, under 25 seconds to go. Nice bounce pass to Conklin. What a pretty feed by Brene Laxton.
Paige Sauer is helping out so much. Nobody else rotated behind.
It's back to 11. The pass inside knocked away, and that was the first foul of the game on Johnson. Sauer misses the front half of the 1-and-1. There's Hansmeyer again. She can't hit it, and it's Tennessee ball under 6 seconds to go. Butts is fouled with 1.8 seconds.
Nia Butts coming down, changes hands, gets all ball.
That looked like a pretty good play on our part, didn't it?
It really does. But as I said, 9 times out of 10, officials are going to call knocking the ball down.
And remember, the hand is part of the ball.
When?
In an official's mind, it's supposed to be.
I think that rule's kind of changed over the
44-33. Butts with a free throw, hits it. 1.8 left. Shamiqua Holtz-Claw, the All-American, leading her team with 10 points, and they have a 12-point lead at the half over undefeated and #1 UConn. That's our story from the Midwest. Let's go back to the studio and Robin Roberts. In the first half, Connecticut still shooting poorly, 41% against that defense. The big story, front court points, 29 for Tennessee and 20 for UConn. And a very telling stat for the Huskies, their starting backcourt of Amy Duran and Rita Williams, no assists and 6 turnovers in the first half.
And 8 points have been scored for Tennessee off those 9 turnovers.
Connecticut starts in the second half with the basketball, and immediately a steal by Elsie. She'll go in against Williams. Conklin with a follow. That doesn't go, and the rebound to Thompson.
Well, that's what you definitely want to come out and score the first basket in the start of the second half. And Connecticut turns the ball over again.
UConn has been its own worst enemy so far.
3 of the 5 starters for Connecticut have 2 fouls. Walters, Keisha Sales, and Amy Duran. And Gino Ariema can only hold his head down low right now, but they've got a long ways to go. They can come back.
Jolly with a nice shooting touch on the last bucket. Williams low to Walters. That's what they need to do, force that ball inside. But the miss and the rebound by Holtzclaw, knocked away from her by Sales, but out to 10.
Once you get down on defense, you find a body. Don't be left without the person standing without a chair. You find a body and put somebody on, put yourself on that body.
Get it to Holtzclaw at the top of the circle. Dangerous pass. Jolly has it, a 15-footer. Nice defense by Williams. Here comes Berube. Carla Berube still looking for the first 2 and can't buy one. Knocked out of.
She has always let the game come to her, but again, give Tennessee credit for just really shutting her down, knowing where she is on the floor.
Sales cut off by Holtzclaw at the baseline. Walters got the roll on this one. Carol Walters has 13 points.
They did a very nice job that time, spreading the offense, getting the open seams, and getting the open pass.
Holtzclaw with a rare miss with that much space to.
Oh, nice. Passion Thompson was wide open, and the Huskies were very lucky on that play.
Haven't they done a beautiful job on those inbounds plays?
They really have. They score right away off them. Most teams, they're just lucky to get the ball inbounds.
That's right. Outstanding set plays by Pat Summit and the coaching staff. Thompson double team, maintain control. Elsie doesn't get the shot, and Walters with a rebound. Carol Walters starting to take over. 7 boards for the All-American. Sales wheels down the baseline.
Those are the kind of shots that Keisha Sales needs to get in. Just slices right in there past the defense.
The lead is down to 10. You don't win 33 games without having a lot of heart. Jolly, offensive foul on Kelly Jolly. That will be her 3rd. What a big...
Kyra Elsie penetrates to the basket, gives it to Jolly, and Jolly goes right into Rita Williams.
Once you lower a shoulder and lean in like that, and Williams just got away with another carry. Sales. Duran to Walters. Much better ball movement in the second half by Tennessee, but they can't finish it. Here comes Holtzclaw.
She's going right on that spin.
I think they recognize it too, Annie. They just can't stop it.
Well, she takes you left off that little dip, and once you go left, you're off balance coming back.
I like what Keisha Sales is doing now. She's got that intensity going. You can tell she realizes the position they're in, and she does not want to see that first loss go on the board.
We saw that last year in the semifinal game against Tennessee, and you got the #1 team, Connecticut, against the defending national champions, Tennessee.
Williams to Sales, and here come the Huskies. They have cranked it up a couple of notches.
They have made some nice adjustments defensively. Tennessee having trouble on the offensive, and also some big defensive plays. Rita Williams has come out, also sparked the team. And Keisha Sales, as you said, Mike, they've got a little bit more fire offensively in their team the second half.
And Sales really runs the court very well, and she's got a big cheering section.
And the biggest thing for the Huskies is not to get those third fouls on Keisha Sales and Carol Walters too quickly.
The third that Jolly picked up could be huge. They can ill afford to have her out of the ballgame at the point. Thompson. Walters may have gotten a piece of that one, and it's out to the Huskies.
Adds to this floor, because just coming back from the ankle injury, I mean, you've got to respect that, and everybody saw that when she came back in that Oregon game.
Holtzclaw comes out on Nikisha Sales. Durant telegraphed the pass, picked off by Thompson.
Passion Thompson came out of nowhere and just flew by to
Notre Dame and UConn, the two Big East invitees, 7-0 so far. The Irish will go to its first Final Four ever. ODU is back for the first time since '85, and the top three in the poll, UConn, ODU, and Stanford still alive. Stanford to play Georgia after our ball game. But really, so far, only one top seed is guaranteed a spot in the Final Four, and that's ODU. Holtzclaw being shadowed by Duran. Shot clock is at 5. Jolly under pressure. Rebound to Sales. Sales ahead. Basket and a foul.
By the Huskies. Rita Williams gets a piece of this, and Sales is off and running to the races. Like, Carrot, get out of my way. And looks down court, makes a nice pass. Good hands by Carla Berube, and a little push behind from Abby Conklin. Really not a smart play, but she had nowhere else to go.
The three-point play cuts it to 5. And you can see the concern on Pat Summitt's face. Closest it's been since it was 13-9. Thompson against Walter. Can't get the shot. Elsie with a follow. It's spun out, but
At halftime.
Elsie will go to the line. She is the poorest free throw of the shooter of the starters. 56.3. Got the foul. In and out on the second one, and knocked out of bounds. 18 years.
That's incredible.
No wonder nobody wants to play her in the tournament. Williams and Duran outside. This is Sales. Almost knocked away by Elsie. Williams forces the jumper from the lane. Good hustle by Sales to get it back. She fires. Berube. Connecticut all at once getting the loose balls and getting the rebounds, something they did not do in the first half. It is a 4-point game.
In the first half, you saw Tennessee really attack offensively, come out strong defensively. In the second half, it's been the Huskies' reversal.
What a change of fortune for... And we have a problem with the shot. Tennessee held at 2 of 10. UConn over 50%. Williams all the way. She won't get the bucket, but she'll draw another foul. And fouls can play a huge part in this. Holtzclaw with 3. Kelly Jolly with 3. For Connecticut, Carol Walters has 3. She's hit all 3 on her trips to the free throw line. All 4. And boy, you like to see that. Somebody stepping up in a big game.
Exactly. The leaders will know that free throws are crucial in a game if you're going to win.
Williams trying to attack Jolly. A 2-point game. Elsie with a miss. Thompson got the follow. Back to 4. A little breathing room for Tennessee. They have not had much since this streak started. Sales doing everything she can to jumpstart this offense. Berube has it going. Carla Berube shut out in the first half, has 7 in the second.
There's got to be a sigh of relief hitting that shot.
Elsie against the double team.
Berube, the nice little pump fake. Usually they call travel on that in the women's game, but she makes a nice move and knocks it down. And then the little baseline jumper.
This was the NBA. She could have taken another step, and it wouldn't have been a travel.
Play solid defense and not turn the ball over. And that's all Gino Auriemma is looking for.
Laxton misses her first shot. She'll get another. Makes the second, the first point of the night for Laxton. It's a 53-50 Tennessee lead. Rita Williams with that quickness can't get through. Duran got caught in the air, got it to Sauer. Tough shot, off balance, couldn't get it to go.
Rita Williams' hands have just been all over the ball handlers for Tennessee.
And off of the foot of Kelly Jolly.
Backing down whatsoever, backs off a little bit right here, but creates the turnover. Carla Berube and Rita Williams really have to step up with this lineup that they have.
Duran will try a three. Rebound to Johnson, and she's fouled.
And right there, Shamiqua Holzclaw. You know what really amazed me? She was never this year an SEC Player of the Week. I mean, I was shocked to hear that. Never during one course of the week was Player of the Week in the SEC.
Laxton. Sales back in and skies for a rebound. 7 for her.
Boards and turnovers are going to play a big part down the stretch.
Sales can carry a team in a game. Rita Williams, set shot. That won't go. Bodies fly inside. Let's see who gets it. It will be against Connecticut. Energy in this comeback, and they seem to have hit a little flat spot here, down by 3. How long do you keep Holzclaw on the bench with those 3 personal fouls? Bad pass by Laxton, picked off by Williams. And Rita Williams, bucket in the foul. Not a smart guess.
Makes, not only in taking this basketball all the way, but in taking the shot. She knows that she's got a teammate on her left side, but she's looking to score. And I think that this is a good decision by Rita Williams. Not only she draws the foul, but she's going to the hoop. And boy, they like it on the sideline.
She's hit 4 for 4 at the line. Short on that one, it could have tied it. 12:15 left from Iowa City. Some comeback by UConn. See if they try to get the ball to Holzclaw. Johnson in the lane, lost it. Picked by Walters. Now 11 turnovers against the Lady Vols. The steal by Holzclaw. They tried to get it to Walters. 2-on-1. She'll take it herself and score.
Well, you got to make her at least use her left hand and go to the left side. Don't let her just keep coming down on the right. But Carla Berube really got fooled by Shamiqua Holzclaw. She just played right in the middle defensively. Wasn't up on the ball. It wasn't back on Kara Walters.
55-52. Tennessee extends the lead back to 3. 1 and out for UConn as Hansmeyer can't hit the baseline layup.
Hansmeyer really makes a nice move on the baseline. The ball doesn't fall, but there's no offensive rebounding for the Huskies. That would have been a big bucket for them.
Holzclaw wants a screen, gets it. Jolly left all alone because of the double team, and she buries the 3. Tennessee is not about to let Connecticut come back without a fight. Williams with that great first step, goes baseline, shot won't fall. Hansmeyer had it blocked. Tennessee basketball. Great defense by Tiffany Johnson.
Tough possessions for the Huskies, but also give credit to Tennessee coming down, and they've nailed the 3 and played good defense as far as also getting the defensive boards.
Johnson gives them that size they need inside at 6'4". She backs in on the All-American and hits the jump shot. Great defense at one end, outstanding offense at the other. 7-0 run since Holzclaw has come back into the ballgame. All-American does tend to inspire her teammates. Williams gives it up to Sale. Walters wants the ball inside, can't get it. Blocked again, and this time a foul will be called on Johnson, her second.
And Abby constantly, Berube, since Holzclaw has been in the game, has had a difficult time getting the basketball, and also when she does get it, knowing what to do with it.
You could see on the sideline, Annie, that after Carla Berube started to get that shot going and scoring anymore.
And they have said she is the clutch player. She is the one player, a rock, that holds this team together for Connecticut. And when you can throw that rock in the ocean and keep her away from everything else, she's not going to be involved.
Hansmeyer, a very poor free throw shooter, misses both. Jolly around Thompson's screen. Got it inside to Holtzclaw. And Shamiqua Holtzclaw going to show you a little strut coming down court. She has 16. They built the lead back to 10 after Tennessee had gotten within 1.
Up with some answers. She's just constantly moving. Holtzclaw's moving, moving, moving. The ball is on the right side. She goes away from the ball. Boom, all of a sudden she's going to cut. Good timing. Where's the defense for the Huskies?
Had to be a time to be very nervous on the sideline for Tennessee as that lead had evaporated, but right now they can celebrate again. And the question will be now, does Connecticut have another run in it? They can.
This Connecticut team has 102 wins in the last 3 years, which is an incredible record. It ties the Kentucky men back in the 40s. So this program comes to help out.
Well, they may have called her getting the arm after the shot, but not much. Shamiqua Holtzclaw will go out of the ball game with 16 points, and you saw what a lift she gave her team just by being on the court.
See the energy and the excitement. We talked about one thing that somebody said about Holtzclaw.
A tremendous rivalry. First time they ever played, it was 1 against 2, and Connecticut took number 1 away from them. Then they played for a national championship. UConn wins again in the series, ending Tennessee's long home winning streak. Tennessee got some payback last year in the semifinals in overtime, but in only 5 games they have developed as intense a rivalry as you could hope to find.
And Connecticut has been number 1 all season long, being undefeated.
Thompson moves in on Walters and makes a bad pass.
Rita Williams
with another steal. She's played sensational defense. Nearly turned it over on the double dribble. Walters goes against the double team and lost the ball. She thought she was fouled.
Well, she has to bring the ball down. She goes right. She doesn't go left that much. And Gino Auriemma wonders sometimes how come she doesn't get to the free throw line as much as she should. But that time where she caught the ball was a little bit too far away from the basket for her.
Johnson, great head fake, got Walters in the air and buries the jumper.
And why at 6'7" you would leave your feet, I don't know, especially when you're 15 feet away. Your offensive player is 15 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, that's really a gift to the shooter. The lead is back to 10 as we approach the 8-minute mark. And Connecticut is going to have to step it up again. Duran with a left hand down the lane, can't hit the shot, and Tiffany Johnson with another rebound. That's her 11th.
Connecticut standing around on the offensive end, only 1 shot at the basket.
Nobody crashing the boards. Reach in, try for a steal by Sales. She'll pick NCAA championship undefeated. 86, it was Texas. In 95, UConn. Can they do it again? They have to come back from 10 down with 7:56 to go. They cut a 15-point. Jolly and Green, the backcourt. Green, baseline drive, can't hit the shot. Sauer with a rebound. Walters not in there right now as they're going for a little more speed, perhaps. Sales, tough shot. Hansmeyer with a follow, and she got it.
When Hansmeyer's been in the game for Connecticut, she's been strong on the offensive boards. And as we said in the timeout, Connecticut's going to have to do something more offensively than just 1 shot at the basket.
Green brings it up. Bad pass by Green. Jolly got a hand on it, and it's all up to Sales. This is exactly what they did in the first run. And I'll ask the question again, how long do you leave Holtzclaw on the bench?
Here she comes. You're so good, Mike. You're so good.
You just get a feeling you can't leave an All-American who has an impact like that. You've got to go out firing all your guns. Jolly down the lane. Tough shot by Jolly.
Boy, they just gave her the right side of the lane and said, take it, Toto. I'm playing the Matador.
And she took it. 66-58. Sales Triple teamed in the lane and lost the ball. Last touch by Tennessee.
Again, it keeps Tennessee up there.
She's the one they will look to. 5 seconds, and they turn it over.
The assistants for this team have been fabulous. They've stayed together, and Al Brown has helped on the free throw shooting, and he's brought a different insight to the game for Pat.
Having a good coaching staff is often overlooked because the focus is so much on the head coach. Elsie can't hit the shot. The rebound goes to Thompson, and she gets Ruby was right there.
Well, Passion Thompson yelled right in the face of Stacey Hansmeyer. Hansmeyer trying to block out.
That's a good way to get a technical, too.
She's saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. Hansmeyer really works hard. She makes a lot of mistakes, as freshmen do, but she's trying to get inside. She grabs Passion Thompson and said, yeah, and yells in her face, and then Carla Berube came to the defense of her teammate.
Holtzclaw got her own rebound. She's hacked. Is hit 10 out of 15 from the stripe tonight, well under their season's average. Same way with Connecticut, 11 of 19. Holtzclaw has hit all 3 tonight. Misses the second. It's a gift. What can I say?
You're awesome.
67 to 58. Rita Williams really made a poor decision there to force that one up. She had 4 defenders on her.
That was a orange wall right there. That's in volleyball you call a roof.
And that's what a point guard has to recognize, more so than anyone else, that when you're double, triple teamed, I don't even know what you call 4 on you, that somebody is wide open. Holtzclaw. And that'll be a foul on Conklin.
Right here is not a good decision. Rita Williams thinks she has the angle, and as soon as she turns, look at the defense just collapse. All those arms up in the air, and nothing Rita Williams can do except see orange.
1 and 1. And she missed the front of the 1 and 1. Saved by Tennessee, but right to Sales. Nikisha Sales with a big bucket.
She's got that quick release.
Sales has 18 points. That's her high in the NCAA tournament.
Give credit to Berube to make that play happen.
She kept it alive on the offensive board off the miss. Hansmeyer's got to be going crazy. She's 0 for 3 from the line tonight. And she'll be the person they look for if they have to foul down the stretch.
That's right, but she's made a lot of good things happen. And so is Kelly Jolly.
Huge shot for Jolly. Another 3. She has 15, and it's a 10-point lead again. Sales trying to answer. Short on a line drive shot. Foul on Carol Walters. That's her 4th.
Right within the offense, the defense had sagged down, and you see Berube trying to get out on Kelly Jolly, who we saw in the first half was not gun-shy in taking a shot. There you see the dejection by the Connecticut bench. It's like, we're trying to do as much as we can, and Tennessee keeps answering it.
And they can feel it slipping away. Johnson at the free throw line. Got the bounce. Walters will stay on the court with her 4th. Sales really wants it. You can see it in every play she makes. Tennessee very content to stay in that zone right now.
That high post is right open, but Hansmeyer doesn't even look at the basket.
Sales looks for Walters. Telegraphed the pass, and Holtzclaw with that great athletic ability to get around Walters.
Connecticut is really trying to get the ball into Carol Walters, and they almost turned the ball over to the Lady Vols, but trying to get the ball inside to Carol Walters. Everybody else is standing around and not looking to score like they came out in the beginning of the second half. Everybody was aggressive offensively.
Elsie at the baseline. Play by Sales. Holy cow, what a block. Berube at the other end. She'll draw the foul.
Carol Walters gets blocked out by Passion Thompson, and Nikisha Sales comes out of nowhere with great help side defense and takes the ball down court, get it to Carla Berube. Nikisha Sales has just been playing her heart out.
Berube playing in a school record 138 games. That might be important as we get down the stretch, don't you think? Another free throw miss for Berube. And UConn's going to look back on this game if they lose at what they lost at the free throw line. Reach-in foul on Duran. That's her third.
You can only direct them and tell them what to do, and they've got to execute.
Passion Thompson to a dozen, just outside 4 minutes. 13, and Tennessee now seeming very calm when they get the opportunities at the line. Walters is going to come out high and give Sales a screen for three. Nikisha Sales buries the three. She has 21. They go for the steal. Williams gets it and bangs it off Tiffany Johnson. What a play by Williams. From Cincinnati, Sales inbounds to Duran. Berube for three. Not a good three-point shooting team. Nice rebound by Walters. And the follow, it's an 8-point game. Here's the pressure again. Thompson. Reach in by Berube in the foul.
Passion Thompson really trying to work to keep Carla Berube out of there, or Kara Walters, and Walters just with her size is able to get it, does a nice job putting the ball back up on the glass.
Yeah, while we were showing that, she was trying to rally her teammates to get them to suck it up for the last 3:24.
But you cannot keep sending.
And Tennessee doing an excellent job. They missed that one. UConn has hurt itself at the free throw line. The lead is 9.
If they hit their free throws, they're in this game.
Sales out of the corner. It's a three, and a huge three for her. Her second one late in the game. A 6-point lead. Here come the Huskies again. Holtzclaw, look out. She is tough. 19 points for Shamiqua Holtzclaw.
Holtzclaw and Sales show.
Boy, it's worth watching, too. Duran, Walters, nice catch. Lost it on the way up. It's out to UConn. Line, rather. Tennessee 5 out of 9 from three-point range. Holtzclaw doesn't have a three, but she's got 19 points and 9 boards. UConn has shot only 50% from the line. Even if they only shot their season's average 68%, they'd be 5 points closer in this game.
Out of bounds play.
That's been a big advantage for Tennessee on both ends of the court. Berube out to Duran for three, way off. Thompson with a rebound. She's double-teamed. Passion Thompson, not the one you're looking to foul, nearly 8 boards.
And as any coach will tell you, it's not really who starts, which Tennessee has had 13 changes in the starting lineup, but who finishes the game.
Thompson misses the front end of a 1-and-1. They can cut the lead to 6 with a bucket here. Rita Williams, I'd get it to Sales. She wants the ball. And lost it as she went baseline.
You think, oh, does she take the shot? She makes the move on Holtzclaw, and then all of a sudden, again, orange jerseys, and she loses it, and he said, picks up the foul. And
Tennessee's going to have to hit its free throws, and that time Tiffany Johnson couldn't. Sales back the other way. Rita Williams with a three. Won't go. Holtzclaw has the rebound and has a wide-open Kyra Elzy.
What a smart play by Tennessee, just releasing Elzy. They have done a wonderful job on the defensive boards. Connecticut just standing around and can not have any transition defense.
The lead is 10, and the Huskies in a whole lot of trouble. Walters back in. She misses the shot.
Tennessee has a lot of good runners on this team, and Elzy at 6'1", she's playing out on the perimeter. And Holtzclaw, we've said what a good defensive rebounder she is. She will take it down court a lot of times, but she sees the court so well, she goes down for the baseball pass.
Walters better. Walters can cut it to 9. She missed them both. And Conklin with a rebound, and they're going to call a... Trying to inbound to Jolly. And it's...
Seniors for them, and Missy Rose and Sarah Northway have had wonderful careers here at Connecticut.
Double her regular season average.
Shamiqua Holtzclaw moved when the ball was given to Kelly Jolly, and Pat Summitt saying, hey, she didn't have the ball. But that is not a right call.
Pat Summitt really upset. Unless the shooter has the ball, you can move. Sales really forced that one up. And the foul.
They're on the lane. They're on the lane. The official has the ball. Oh, she's moving, but the official's
Yeah.
starting to give the ball to Kelly Jolly.
It's got to be in her hands.
9/10 of the law, huh?
That's right. Holdsclaw, 19 points. Her average is 20. She always...
I said, you know, are you going to give her the ball that much? She goes, first of all, Shemiko doesn't want to shoot the ball that much. She wants to get everybody involved. And we'll win more championships when Shemiko distributes it.
The lead is 13. Nice drive by... And Nikisha Sales, the player of the game for UConn. Conklin is the best free throw shooter of the starters. 83%. She hits the...
This has really been kind of quiet.
Missed the second. The lead is a dozen. Durant missed the layup. Johnson with a rebound. And they couldn't get it in, and Sales tried to bounce it off a Tennessee player, and they turned it over. Holdsclaw back the other way. Nice decision. It's better to run time off the clock. Smart play by Holdsclaw. Excellent ball movement by Tennessee. UConn has got to foul, and Jolly got one up around the face from Rita Williams.
Heart and soul of that, they have pulled together.
Kelly Jolly has 18 points. The lead is 14. And I think it's just starting to set in on the Connecticut bench that they may not be going to the Final Four. And 33 in games, a lot of people wrote them off. But right now they are 26-10. And, you know, some easy teams and your point guard gets hurt. You still got a chance to get point guard. And then she got hurt.
Exactly. And when you're defending national...
Tennessee with its second biggest lead of the ball game. Rita Williams. They'll give her the layup. She can't hit it. And Sales, who has been magnificent, scores inside again. Holdsclaw.
She's got 26 points. She had a career high last year, 28 points against Tennessee. WNBA or the ABL, she's got a good chance of going and continuing her career. As most...
On a 9-0 run when Shemiko Holdsclaw, who had been on the bench in foul trouble, came back in. Rita Williams with the drive. 2 points at a time, really not going to get it done.
No, but she's had a career game.
Great hustle there by Missy Rose with the steal. She went into the third row after she grabbed that one. Williams kicks it back outside to Berube for three. 87-79. Ahead of the pack is Thompson. And Rose goes down and commits the foul. A sophomore, 3-1, and how very difficult it must be for them to have played that brilliantly all year long, be one step away from another Final Four, and have their only loss of the season knock them out of the tournament.
A very tough defeat for them, but they have had a wonderful career. Gina Ariana's got to be very proud of this team. In Division I basketball, men or women, Louisiana Tech did that.
Just remarkable. Has fought back, and Pat Summitt will go to her 10th Final Four in 16 years. What an accomplishment. Conklin got the bucket. Missy Rose at the buzzer. And the dream has ended for Connecticut. 33-1. A tremendous run they had, but it stops in Iowa City. Courtesy of Tune for Sports Center coming up next. You're watching ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For my partner.